preparing, I just give you a quick review about you. Talus has served as the Data Protection Ombudsman since autumn 2020. Talus is MA and a Doctor of Laws by training. Before her current position, she worked as a Deputy Data Protection Ombudsman in the Office of the Data Protection Ombudsman. Her previous posts included Senior Advisor, Legislative Affairs and Special European Union Advisor in the Ministry of Justice. Stage is yours. Thank you.
Good morning to everybody, and thank you also very much for the invitation to come here to speak in this conference today. Before I will go into my topic in more detail, I will say a couple of words of my office, so you all will know where I'm coming from. So in Finland, the GDPR is supervised by the Data Protection Ombudsman and Data Protection Ombudsman's office. This is the Finnish National Supervisory Authority. So I am the Data Protection Ombudsman, and I have two deputy Data Protection Ombudsman, Helja-Tuulia Pihamaa and Annina Hautala. They are both independent in their decision making. So we have three information commissioners or data protection ombudsmen who are all independent in our own decision making. And this is actually something relatively new. This came with the GDPR when our office became bigger. Before the GDPR, our office, we had only 20 people. Now we have approximately 45 people working in the office. Also, the incoming cases have increased quite significantly with the GDPR. Before the GDPR, we had around 3,500 cases per year, and since 2018, the increase has been quite steep. At the moment, we have approximately 11,000 incoming cases per year. So this has all, of course, it also shows the significance of the protection of personal data, and also I think it reflects the awareness of the citizens. They know now better their data protection rights and are also willing to seek for their rights and look after their rights. With one specific feature, I will tell you also about our sanctioning part, because when the GDPR became into applicable, one of the big topics were always the administrative sanctions. This was something that was very much in the headlines and always discussed and talked regardless of the topic. So in Finland, in our system, the Constitutional Committee in the Parliament decided that it cannot be only one person who would issue the administrative fines. It must be an organ which composes at least of 3 persons. So this is why we have the Sanction Committee in our office. The Sanction Committee composes by all the Data Protection Ombudsmen. So it is me and my deputies. So every decision made on administrative fines are always made in a composition of 3 persons. So this was something that became it turned out like that during the legislative procedure when the implementation law of the GDPR was drafted in Finland. But then to the actual topic, I will provide you with a concise introduction of an ongoing legislative process we have in Finland at the moment. This is interconnected with the overall topic we are discussing here today. But before going into that, to our national AI legislation, I would like to take and use this opportunity to bring to your attention my main concern related to these all new EU-level legislative proposals. and that is the danger of fragmented supervision. Basically, all these proposals contain data protection-related provisions, and I find it of utmost importance that the supervision to ensure the application of this legislation will be coherent, and that there will be coherent application of the data protection rules. I think this is something a common interest shared by all stakeholders. I think that it is in favor of all stakeholders that the application of data protection rules will be coherent. But then to our national AI legislation and legislation procedure. To start with the current governmental program, the governmental program includes an effort to promote the digitalization of government and the society as a whole. Now, I must say that we will have a new parliamentary elections this upcoming spring, but I think that this is one of the underlying themes which basically is followed by quite many governments now. So I believe that the importance of the digitalization will not diminish regardless of the new possible governmental program. So the automatic decision-making is already used in administration, for instance, for tax purposes and for the payment of certain benefits in Finland. Now there is provisions on automatic resolution of cases, or they will be added in international legislation, in the Administrative Procedure Act. And the main reason for this national AI legislation is not actually the data protection rules, it is the civil servant liability. So once again, our Constitutional Committee in the Parliament decided that to have the automatic decision-making on the public sector, we need to make sure that the civil servant liability is laid on the right person. And this is the main reason that there is this legislative process going on at the moment in Finland, to ensure that when there is an automatic decision-making on public sector, the liability lays on the right place. This is still an ongoing process, and the aim to have the draft law into Parliament is in the beginning of 2023. But at the same time, there is also, of course, the aim to streamline this general law with the requirements from the GDPR. This is not. We still do not know, or I haven't seen the final version of this draft law, but the idea is to have the basic general frames for the public sector automated decision making. And I personally find it a very good initiative. I see that in certain cases this is a very well-functioning concept, and when we have the possibility to focus the public authorities' resources on more demanding tasks, and then maybe have the less demanding tasks carried through with the automatic decision making. This is what we actually should do. But it is clear that we then need to have the frames which meet the requirements. Well, of course, from the GDPR, but also then other important requirements stemming from the Constitution, which is, for instance, the liability of the civil servants. So, so the core idea is to draft the general legislation and to clarify the legal basis for automatic decision making in public sector. And like I said, the aim is for the new legislation to enter into force. Well, it will not aim into it will not enter into force of 1st of January 2024. I doubt that, because it's still the process is still ongoing, and it's not in the Parliament yet, the bill. Another interesting topic I thought that I would briefly mention here is a study which was carried out in Finland. It is the use of algorithms and the discriminative algorithms. In Finland, we thought that this is a good time for this type of study, and then also maybe draw some conclusions from this study, because the use of AI systems is not yet widespread. So there is actually a good time now to focus some of the core issues we might have with algorithm when we use algorithms, and this is one of the main core issues this study was carried through, and the aim was to avoiding the AI biases project mapped the risks to fundamental rights and non-discrimination involved with the machine learning-based AI systems. The study introduces certain recommendations and assessment tool when algorithms are used in the public sector, and provides this assessment tool which is for the use of public sector. Of course, it could be beneficial also for other stakeholders. It is based on 3 objectives, which you can see there on the PowerPoint. One of the core objectives is raising public awareness of algorithmic discrimination. So this study, you could also actually found a briefing about that in English from the web pages, and I thought that it would be interesting to bring this study also into your attention. But these were my introductory remarks, and thank you for the attention, and we'll continue then later with the panel.